Tonight on UMTV News, we will tell you why Miami Beach is under a state of emergency in the midst of spring break.
Plus, we'll have an update on the newly lifted mask mandate in New York City.
And later on, we'll show you how one Ukrainian dance group is dealing with the war.
These stories and a lot more on today's edition of UMTV News.
It starts right now.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of UMTV News. I'm Jaya Williams.
And I'm Lauren Cruz-Salval. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's spring break and tens of thousands of students have descended onto Miami Beach, and now they're facing an early bedtime following a series of violent incidences. Since the start of this month, there have been 5 shootings on Ocean Drive and 9 police officers have been injured while controlling the crowds. This has prompted Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber to issue a curfew beginning tomorrow night and lasting through Sunday morning. During yesterday's press conference announcing the curfew, Mayor Gelber said, "If you want to see what a very frustrated and angry mayor looks like, you're looking at him. Our city is well past its endpoint. We cannot endure this anymore." The curfew is from midnight to 6 a.m. and means people cannot be out during this time. The city of Miami Beach is also looking into issuing a second curfew for next weekend.
Another high-profile case of COVID-19 has hit the White House. Press Secretary Jen Psaki learned moments before today's press briefing that she has come down with the virus. This is the second time Psaki has contracted COVID. She previously tested positive in October. Psaki was expected to travel with President Biden to Europe later this week, but will no longer go on the trip. This is not the only recent COVID case that has reached the White House. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff also contracted COVID last week. His wife, Vice President Kamala Harris, continues to test negative.
Following New York Governor Kathy Hochul's decision to drop the masking mandate, schools in New York City are finally reopening their doors for chorus concerts. The Yonkers Public Schools hosted their first concert Friday night after a 2-year hiatus. The event held in celebration of the unveiling of Lincoln High School's new auditorium. Families and faculty were happy to see their star students perform, with the total proceeds from ticket sales going towards the district's art program.
In 2020, there obviously was a tremendous amount of communications that we had to do with families. Constantly keeping them informed, and we did it in using a variety of techniques, and we just kept moving forward. Everybody was learning.
During this learning period, students were able to put on Zoom concerts and learn music theory in classrooms. And with the mask mandate being lifted last month, students were allowed to rehearse songs such as Dance Monkey by Tones and I with an end goal in mind.
4 Ukrainian children with cancer will finally be able to receive care after their families had to flee because of the war. U.S. officials say the children and their families were recently flown into Memphis from Poland, where they are expected to continue treatment at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. According to State Department spokesman Ned Price, the U.S. aims to provide more aid to cancer patients whose treatments may also be on hold because of the conflict.
The war in Ukraine has impacted some youthful members of the Ukrainian Dancers of Miami who are worried about the country. Our reporter Shrishti Jaswal met with the members of the organization and joins us now live to tell us how they've been coping with the war in their native lands from thousands of miles away. Shrishti?
Thanks, guys. I got the opportunity to talk to the members about how did they form the organization in Miami. They also shared the information stating that their families are stuck and they pray for peace. It was so sad to talk to one of the mothers who was helpless, who cannot meet her family back in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Dancers of Miami is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to promoting and perpetuating the Ukrainian culture. This is primarily accomplished through the Ukrainian Dancers of Miami, a troupe that performs traditional Ukraine folk dancing. At age of 2.5, Donna set foot on the wooden floor of the Ukrainian American Club of Miami to learn her first steps as a member of the Ukrainian Dancers of Miami.
Our group was formed in the 40s Ukraine was under Soviet rule, and this was a way that the young people continued the culture and traditions that in Ukraine, you know, you could only do this kind of thing underground, or if the KGB found you doing it, you could be jailed or sent to Siberia just for being who you were. You couldn't go to church out in the open. People held churches in basements. Never thought we would be at this stage again where our family and friends in Ukraine are hiding instead of practicing their culture. It's a very difficult time for families. Everybody's worried about families that are in Ukraine. It is a time of actually, we're, I think, still in disbelief, even though it's happening and we know it's happening. It's hard to grasp that it's actually happening again.
Boris talks about what Russia did was wrong and prays for peace.
They should have never invaded, a little over 2 weeks ago. And it's a very bad thing, and I hope they pull out and they negotiate a ceasefire. And we all certainly pray for peace.
Ukraine receives its prayers from a mother of one of the dancers who has her family stuck in Ukraine.
Heart just breaking apart, looking at Ukraine. Ukraine was not perfect, but it's always been a peaceful country. Слава Україна, Боже благослови Україну, which goes for glory for Ukraine. I'm really proud to be Ukrainian.
Since their creation in 1949, the Ukrainian dances of Miami have been dedicated to promoting their culture through dance. You can learn more about them on ukrainedancemiami.org. This is Shrishti Jaiswal reporting live for UMTV.
Thanks, Shristi. A rescue operation for a plane crash involving 132 passengers in China is currently underway. The Chinese Boeing 737 plane crashed yesterday over the city of Wuzhou in southwestern China. According to officials, the mountainous terrain where the crash took place makes it hard for rescuers to access the site with heavy equipment. Additionally, weather experts warn authorities of an incoming cold front and rainstorm, which could complicate the rescue operation. While there have been no updates on the number of casualties from the crash, authorities are keeping heavy watch on the situation.
Towns in Texas cleaning up after more than a dozen tornadoes struck the state on Monday. One Texas woman died after a tornado destroyed her house, and at least 10 people have been injured. More than 20 tornadoes have left behind paths of damage, ripping roofs off homes and flipping vehicles. The same line of storms that triggered the twisters is tracking east. A tornado watch is currently in effect for parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. The risk for dangerous storms is expected to reach the East Coast on Wednesday, while showers from the same storm will move into South Florida on Thursday. And still ahead on UMTV News, workers at Disney World are holding out. We will tell you why after break.
Also, President Biden's Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has been testifying before the Senate today. We will have the latest from Washington after the break. Stay with us.
RAIN has been supporting survivors of sexual violence since 1994.
We have teams dedicated to education, prevention, and response.
Improving the criminal justice system.
And changing the way America thinks about sexual violence.
Our hotline is 100% confidential. It's anonymous, it's safe, and free.
Whether you're looking for information or just want someone to listen, we'll be there.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
Porque si
Miami Beach is a hotspot destination for spring breakers, but while they can appreciate our beautiful oceans, there's a lack of responsibility for cleaning the trash left behind. And now some concerned residents took the problem into their own hands. Our reporter Nicole Brites joins us now live to tell us more. Nicole, what did these locals do?
Thanks, guys. A group of locals participated in a collaborative initiative where they engaged with beach visitors and encouraged them to keep the beaches clean. Beach cleanup projects offer volunteers a chance to learn more about the impact of ocean pollution on marine life. It also gives them a chance to contribute to ocean conservation through action.
Miami local Samantha Sines is always looking for opportunities to help save the environment.
Today we are encouraging spring breakers and everybody on the beach to pick up their trash and just make the beach, pristine and leave it how they found it, basically.
Samantha is part of a volunteer group called Clean Miami Beach, whose mission is to protect the beach and its marine wildlife from harmful pollutants such as plastic.
You just kind of start looking and it's everywhere. It's plastic everywhere. It's styrofoam containers everywhere. You jump in the ocean and it's there too. Obviously, Florida thrives off of tourism, and there's not going to be any tourism if the beach is dirty.
According to the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, Miami Beach attracts over 7 million tourists each year. On average, Clean Miami Beach collects over 200 pounds of trash per day during this time of year. But it's not just tourists that are responsible for excessive pollution. A couple of weeks ago, part of Miami Beach was trashed by South Florida high school seniors who were skipping school. And photos and videos of the incident went viral on social media.
It was an absolute disaster. It was a nightmare. It was terrible. And we don't want this on our beach.
And with spring break in full swing, Clean Miami Beach founder Sophie Ringel is ready to take action.
We have a volunteer team going up and down the beach to hand out trash bags and just be kind to say, please pick up your trash. And they even, so if they bring their trash to us here, they even get a little reward.
The rewards include a turtle stuffed animal, reusable water bottles, and magnets. Samantha hopes that making cleaning fun will inspire others to join them and make a difference.
Obviously, one person can't do this alone. Sophie founded this organization, but definitely, the more volunteers that we have, the bigger impact we can have.
Sophie receives no money for what she does. She relies solely on donations from the public to fund Clean Miami Beach. If you'd like to donate or join the next cleanup, visit the website cleanmiami.org. Live for UMTV News, I'm Nicole Brites.
Thank you, Nicole. Some Disney employees used their breaks today to protest a Florida bill and the company's response to it. They staged walkouts at various locations. It's all over Florida's Parental Rights and Education bill. Florida's Senate passed the bill earlier this month, and Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to sign it into law. Disney opposes it, saying on Instagram it opposes any legislation that infringes on basic human rights. Called the Don't Say Gay bill by critics, it would ban classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity before 4th grade. Disney also said Tuesday it stands in solidarity and support with their LGBTQIA+ cast, crew, guests, and fans. Disney CEO Bob Chapek was criticized for not speaking out against the bill sooner. He has since apologized.
The long days of questioning from the Senate Judiciary Committee directed at Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson have begun in the confirmation hearings of Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. On day 2 of confirmation hearings, senators wasted no time zeroing in on the most important issues. They have been pressing Jackson on her judicial philosophy, her thoughts about expanding the Supreme Court beyond 9 justices, and her work as a public defender representing detainees at Guantanamo Bay. Her composure in the hearing has gained even more support with President Biden.
The president watched portions of Judge Jackson's hearing yesterday and today, and is proud of the way she is showcasing her extraordinary qualifications, her experience, and her even-handedness. Her dedication to following the facts, the law, and our Constitution as an independent judge is clear.
The confirmation hearings continue over the next 2 days, with more senators pressing Jackson as she tries to become the first Black woman to sit on the Supreme Court in U.S. history.
We will take a short break now, but there is a lot more to come on UMTV News.
Still ahead, find out what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has to say about one trans swimming champion. Plus, our reporter Caroline McDonald gives us a closer look at one yoga class that is teaching much more than yoga poses.
And we have an update on the former child star Amanda Bynes' conservatorship status. Don't go anywhere.
Talk about it. I was told not to talk about it.
So I'm here to talk about it.
Because I can't stay quiet.
I was able to break my silence. because of those who refuse to stay quiet.
I am a businesswoman.
Activist.
Survivor.
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 Thanks for staying with UMTV News. It's March and it certainly is madness. The Cardiac Canes are off to an impressive start and have found themselves in the Sweet 16. The Miami's men's basketball team fought hard against the USC Trojans last Friday, where they scraped by the first round in a 68-66 victory. Their next challenge came on Sunday, facing number 2 seed Auburn, where a poster-like dunk from Isaiah Wong led the Canes to a 79-61 worryless win. Coach Laranaga and the team will head to Chicago to face number 11 seed Iowa State in Friday's matchup for a spot in the Elite Eight.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is honoring the swimmer who finished second to the first transgender athlete to win an NCAA Division I title. University of Pennsylvania swimmer Leah Thomas beat Virginia freshman swimmer Emma Wyant, but Governor DeSantis said the victory is a fraud.
In one game, 16 in another. Be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle because she earned that. And we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetuate frauds on the public. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are putting ideology ahead of opportunity for women athletes.
DeSantis said he's weighing in because Wyant is a native of Sarasota, Florida. Thomas's rise in women's sports has sparked criticism and debate over transgender women competition in female athletics.
One story about 2 local South Florida organizations might lead you to believe that yoga is a lot more than just child's pose or warrior one. For more, we are joined live by our reporter Caroline McDonald with details. Caroline?
Thanks, guys. I got a special opportunity last weekend to attend an event in Merrick Park that really opened my eyes to the benefits in mindfulness and yoga. And I got the chance to talk to some people who are using yoga and Pilates as a way to spread mental health awareness. On Sunday, March 12th, Mind Yoga and Pilates Organization, otherwise known as MYP, held an hour-long yoga session on the lawn in Merrick Park. Anyone was welcome to join MYP while they taught one of their most popular yoga sessions. However, this is not any typical type of yoga class. MYP focuses deeper into the connection with the mind behind an athlete's workout.
You know, we do a lot of output, we expend a lot of energy, we do a lot of working out, especially athletes, and there isn't enough attention on the working in part. You know, making sure that they're recovering fully and properly, and also letting them know that there's multiple ways to do that. Sometimes the recovery looks like physical, like the body needs to recover, but a lot of times it's the mental too.
We can do a lot with our bodies physically, but getting ourselves into that headspace to believe what we can do with our bodies is often that part that's missed. So I really enjoy the meditative practices, the focusing on the breathing, the visualization, that connecting to yourself on a deeper level.
The MYP event offered relaxation, top-tier instruction by some of MYP's best athletes, and also helped to get their brand out to the community. But more importantly, this MYP event teamed up with a local South Florida charity. Not only did people come for meditation, but people also showed up in support for one athlete, Bryce Gowdy. Bryce Gowdy was a star football player out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. But in 2019, right before leaving for Georgia Tech to continue his football career, Gowdy tragically took his own life. His mom, family, and friends started the Bryce Gowdy Foundation in honor of his legacy, but more importantly, to spread awareness of mental health for athletes and to help provide young adults resources.
So here with Mindfulness, Yoga, and Pilates athletes, our goal was to not only bring awareness about mental health for the student athlete, but also mental health overall for any person in the world, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Gowdy's impact travels throughout South Florida, which is how MYP heard of the story and thought it would be a great partnership for an event to spread both their messages.
You matter, you come first, you are what you have to look forward to. When that sport is over and done with, you still have you.
You can even find Gowdy's legacy being carried out on the football field, where Bryce's home friends, wide receiver Xavier Restrepo and running back Jalen Knighton wear number 4 and 7 in honor of Bryce.
Bryce Gowdy going up and getting it.
If you are interested in donating to the Bryce Gowdy Foundation, you can visit at brycegowdy.org. All proceeds help Bryce's mom and family build a resource center in Deerfield Beach. I'm Caroline McDonald reporting for UMTV.
Thank you, Caroline. And finally, Amanda Bynes' conservatorship has ended. The protective measure was taken in 2013 after the now 35-year-old actress allegedly started a small fire at a home in Thousand Oaks. Bynes filed the request to have her mother's conservatorship ended last month. Bynes' parents are reportedly supportive of the move. And today, Judge Roger Lund officially ended the legal supervision of her personal and professional affairs. Bynes, who at 13 years old was the star of her namesake show, is now retired from acting.
Well, it was free Britney Spears, now it's free Amanda. Congratulations to them both. And that's all the time we have for this edition of UMTV News. Thank you for joining us.
And make sure to join us again next week for another episode of UMTV News. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Ciao, ciao.